sure many of you will remember or be familiar with the program Grand Designs. I remember watching it being very young, probably in high school, and seeing the houses that people put together. It was a lot based in the UK, I think. There's some houses done in Europe as well. But one thing that always fascinated me back then was that when they put the solar on, in comparison to the technology that we have today, the solar back then was very, very different and perhaps not even cost effective at all. Today is the day that we complete kind of a little dream that I had, I guess, since I was quite young, and a little mini dream that I've been talking a lot about on this channel. We are having the solar installed on the cottage. Today I'm going to be showing you the installation of the system. I'm going to be showing you the system that we've chosen as well, and I'm also going to be breaking down the cost of that system and how cost effective we assume it will be. I'll be doing a follow-up on this to let you know if it really works out as cost effective. And just for those that don't want to watch this whole vlog waiting for the price of the system that we've gone for, it was actually 420,000 baht. I looked at a number of different setups. I have a lot of friends that have solar here in Thailand in different areas. I took a lot of advice off different subscribers as well, but I decided to finalize on this system because it wasn't too small that it was going to be meet our needs, and obviously it wasn't too big that it wouldn't be so heavy on the budget. So I think it's an upper intermediate system. You're going to see yourselves, and it's off grid, so it means that we can operate fully off grid, and there are a number of reasons why we want to do that, which I'm going to go into in today's vlog. So you can see the panels arriving here. They look like they're quite heavy on that truck. So I'm assuming this truck is not made for these particular solar panels and this particular weight. I asked Damo, these are supposed to arrive yesterday, and I asked Damo, where are they? And last night they arrived to the port in Chonburi near Pattaya, for anybody that knows that area. And this guy here is the head honcho. I'm going to be introducing you to him later in this vlog. I tell you something about this guy. I've never met, and this is saying something in Thailand, I've never met anybody as smiley as him. He is always smiling, always laughing, but more than this, he really knows his stuff. He actually installs solar on different supermarkets, hotels. He's used to doing much larger systems than this, up to 50 kilowatt system. Our system is a 14 kilowatt inverter. Okay, so as we walk through the system, first I'll talk a little bit about JA panels. The good thing about JA is they're involved in a lot of utility projects. They build solar farms all around the world, and also they're tested in extreme heats and extreme weather conditions. And so this just gives you peace of mind with the choice of panel. As many of my subscribers will already know, these are also bifacial panels, which means that the light can reflect from the roof to the underside of the panel, and that will still generate the energy. Some people had recommended that had done this before to always kind of go over what you think you require, because you don't want to get caught short and you don't want to have to be adding stuff later. So it's better to get a larger system. So the panels are actually strung in strings of 8, so 8 panels per string. I've got 16 going on my roof, as you can see here, and I've got 8 panels going on the front of the cottage as well. And so the front of the cottage actually catches the morning sun, and my roof catches it basically all day after the morning. So from what I've read as well, these panels, being glass panels, bifacial, they also have a longer lifespan, and so we can expect 25 to 30 years from these panels. That would make me 70 years old before I have to replace them all, and they may even go longer than that. And so sometimes if you do opt for bifacial, you may get a longer life than just your standard panels. We also have been preparing M150s for everybody. That's basically Red Bull. We'll also be treating the guys to a nice meal today as well after they finished. You can see that we've made space in here already. I had a brother come and he's had to work and help set things up in advance. As you can see here, he's put all the cabling behind my room, which brings the cables from the mains power. We still need mains power because the mains is going to be connected here to this solar, and that box there has something called an ATS, which means that if the battery runs out, it will switch over to grid power, or if there was a problem with the inverter, it would switch over to grid power. Her brother has done a good job on bringing these electrics over, so says Knock, who says that it's a very professional job that he's done. So we're quite lucky to have Damo's brother that can help us with this. As somebody that takes my family's security both online and offline very seriously, I would like to tell you about our partners on today's video, Surfshark VPN. Surfshark VPN is going to protect your privacy online, but more than this, it has a number of useful features, such as an email scanner, which is going to scan your emails and identify any possible phishing attacks or scams. What I'm using more and more now as my son gets a bit older is parental controls via Surfshark VPN. This allows me to control what content he's getting access to on his iPad and make sure that he is safe while browsing online. I'm hearing more and more from UK subscribers these days about content restrictions. There are a number of draconian laws that could be used to invade people's privacy and control what they can and can't access on the internet. Surfshark VPN allows you to get around those restrictions. Surfshark VPN can be used across all of your devices, so actually you only have to sign up one time. You can use it on your iPhone, your Mac or your PC. And for those that travel a lot like I do, you connect to many different Wi-Fis in different hotels and airports. Surfshark VPN has an alert system that can let you know if your Wi-Fi has been compromised in any way. Surfshark have given me an offer to give to you. It's going to get you 4 months extra. You can use code word BAMBOO at checkout, download the app or go to www.surfshark.com/bamboo. Those links are below, and what's more is it's a money back guarantee. So if it doesn't work out for you for whatever reason, you can get your money back. คุณนกอันนี้จะใช้1 สตริงใช่ไหมข้างบนนี่
ครับ1 สตริงตรงนี้1 สตริงตรงโน้น2 สตริงครับ
2 สตริงใช่ไหม
ครับผม
เรามีอินเวอร์เตอร์14 กิโลวัตต์มันพอดีใช่ไหมครับ
ครับ
ลาคุณนกปกติคนทำงานที่ไหนครับ
ทั่วประเทศครับทำประจำอยู่ที่ร้านช่างดำครับเป็นช่างประจำอยู่ร้านช่างดำอำเภอกระสัง
ทำบ้านแล้วก็ทำโรงแรมด้วยใช่ไหม
ครับผม
ปกติไซส์อะไรมันไซส์อะไร
ส่วนใหญ่ใช้ตามบ้านเรือนก็ประมาณ5 กิโลนะที่ใช้เยอะๆ5 กิโลวัตต์12 กิโลวัตต์ประมาณนี้ครับใช้ในครัวเรือนแต่ถ้าระบบโรงแรมหรือโรงงานก็50ขึ้นครับ50 กิโลวัตต์ขึ้นครับ
แล้วผมอยากถามว่าทำไมคุณมีความสุขตลอดทำไมยิ้มตลอด ผมไม่เคยเจอคนถ่ายยิ้มเยอะขนาดนี้นะ
โอเคครับผม
ทำไมมีความสุขครับ
ครับมีความสุขครับได้เจอลูกค้าน่ารักครับลูกค้าพายิ้ม
ครับผมอยู่ชอบทำงานนี้ด้วยใช่ไหม
ครับมีความสุขกับงานนี้ครับ
คุณทำกี่ปีแล้วครับ
หลายปีแต่ก่อนทำพวกดาวเทียมแล้วก็พวกอิเล็กทรอนิกส์ซ่อมทีวีพวกอะไร
ที่นี่ที่บุรีรัมย์เหรอ
บุรีรัมย์ครับอยู่ในตัวเมืองบุรีรัมย์ทำดาวเทียมทำคอมพิวเตอร์
เราเรียนทำนี่เมื่อไหร่
อันนี้ทำประมาณ 4-5 ปีนี่แหละ
4-5 ปีแล้ว
ครับมันเพิ่งบูมช่วง 4-5 ปีนี่แหละครับ
ดี
แต่ก่อนแผงค่อนข้างแพง
ครับ
แผงหนึ่งก็ 7,000 กว่าบาทเดี๋ยวนี้
4-5 ปีที่แล้วใช่ไหม
ใช่ 7,000 กว่าบาท
มันแพงกว่า
แพงเดี๋ยวนี้มันราคาจับต้องได้ครับ
มันดีนะ
มันดี
ใช่มาจากประเทศจีนด้วยใช่ไหม
ครับผม
ปกติของมาจากประเทศจีนใช่ไหม
ครับเมคอินไชน่าบ้างแล้วก็โรงงานอยู่ไอ้ระยองเราก็มีผลิตในมีระยอง
ปกติของมาจากประเทศจีนมันดีกว่าประเทศไทยไหมหรือเท่ากัน
พอๆกันครับคุณภาพพอกันมันมี QC ตรวจสอบอยู่แล้วครับครับแล้วมันมีการันตีด้วยมีประกัน25 ปีเงี้ยสบายๆแล้วใช้ไปเถอะแล้วไม่ค่อยมีเสียหรอกแผ่น
แล้วก็งานนี่มันยากไหมทำนี่มันยากวันนี้
ก็โอเคอยู่ครับพื้นที่มันค่อนข้างจำกัดเนาะแล้วแต่ละสตริงเราก็ต้องจัดให้มันแมทกัน
แล้วต้องใช้เวลานานนะครับ
ก็คิดว่าวันนี้ก็คงเสร็จครับ
เสร็จวันนี้เหรอ
ครับ
โอเคครับขอบคุณมากครับพี่นก Nok speaks a little bit of English. He says that he can understand more than he can speak, but it is sometimes better to be able to talk in Thai. I can tell he knows his stuff as well. Like he quietly humoured me while I told him exactly kind of what I want and why I want it. He showed me his portfolio of work, and when I saw what hotels he'd done and what supermarkets he'd done, I knew he was the right guy for the job. He's been on time. He's had the equipment on time. Everything has been as he said it would be. So it's rare to get good people like that. I think anywhere in the world, perhaps, to get the job done properly, and you can trust he's reliable. He's not going to scam you, you know. I'd just like to add in here why we decided to do this. Like, what are the reasons behind it? Number one, the equipment is cheaper enough now, so you can make a return on it. I'm going to give you some fag packet maths in a moment of how cost effective it would be and when we would see a return. But for other reasons, we get power cuts from time to time here in rural Thailand, albeit it's only about once a month, twice a month max. But if there's a serious electrical failure, like a storm and a pylon has gone down, then it can knock out the electricity for a few hours and you're kind of left without the ability to shower, and you can't work, of course, and so it has a lot of effects, knock-on effects. Some of the other reasons is I recently was dealing with a back injury. It put me in bed for about, well, to be honest, guys, about 16 weeks. You won't have seen it on the vlog so much because I've struggled through it, and I managed to set my schedule in a way that it wasn't apparent, that I was working from bed. And it made me really think about, if something happens to you, you have electricity, you have home, no rent, and food is cheap here in Thailand, so I don't think it would ever get to that kind of serious situation. But you wouldn't want to dip into savings or investments. You would kind of want to like stick it out in that case. Also, if something happens to me, the kids can live here with Damo with no electricity bill, so I know that they, for at least the perceivable future, they wouldn't worry about the electricity bill every month. They also have a business set up anyway, so they don't have to worry about that. The business makes enough money to take care of them if something happens to me. I often also joke that if there's a zombie apocalypse, you know, you could be on solar. People will often say that if there's some kind of apocalypse or some kind of crazy collapse, then people will run to the prepper's house and steal what they have. We do have things in place so that doesn't happen. There's stuff I don't talk about on the channel, obviously. I mean, the other real reason that we got solar is because it's super cool. It's cool to filter your own water. I found, like, I love cleaning the filter system and making sure it's upkept, and I know that my family are drinking clean water from glass bottles, you know, with no microplastics, and that process is fun to do. And I think I'm very much going to enjoy watching our energy usage and kind of working out how all of that works. It's good for the kids too. It's educational for the kids. Like, I often say to Otis that this is our Earth ship. It's a ship that is on Earth. It is somewhat self-contained, and producing your own energy, water, vegetables, whatever it is you do, eggs, of course, that we have with the chickens. There's something just really awesome about that. I guess it's a lifelong dream, but it was a really subconscious dream. It wasn't something that I set out to do. It was just something that I realized from watching Grand Designs quite young is something that I wanted to do. And so now onto the economics of the system. The whole system, after everything that we've done, I've also changed the showers, by the way, from 6,500 watt to 3,800 watt, just to go a little bit easier on the inverter. The whole system was 420,000 baht. If you then take into account our electricity bill, which is 5,000 baht per month, which comes to 60,000 baht per year, we have to kind of work out then how long will each part of the equipment last in order to make your savings. So hit your payback period and then make savings. At that rate, the payback period will actually be 7 years. So it'll take 7 years to get the cost of the system back again. And so you have to look at each part of the equipment and how long will it last. So the panels we discussed will last 25 to 30 years, so they're not really an issue. The inverter, the 14 kilowatt Lux Power inverter, has a typical lifespan of between 10 and 15 years. So over the course of 25 to 30 years of the panel life, I'll probably have to replace that inverter at least one time. The battery's lifespan, the system uses 3 16 kilowatt LV Topsun lithium batteries, so that's 48 kilowatts total. These are LFP batteries and they're known for longevity, and so they're typically rated at 6,000 cycles, and that works out to roughly to 15 years. The fact that we have 3 batteries and not 2 is going to increase the lifespan of those batteries, which makes it more economically practical. It means that the batteries aren't draining low all the time, and so they have a longer life. Adding 4 batteries may even lengthen the use of the batteries. So factoring in the replacements of some of the equipment across the 30-year lifespan of the panels, the inverter you would want to replace one time, and that's at a cost of maybe 45,000 baht, but that cost is going down as time goes on. And then the batteries, each costing around 55,000 baht, you would want to replace each of those once within the 30-year time span. Now, I'll also mention that I actually don't need the technicians or any of these installers to come in and do that. It's pretty easy to have that done. The batteries are modular, so I can just unplug them and plug some new ones in. And so this one-time cost, factoring in all of the workmanship and I guess, consultancy is worth, I think, paying for. I did look at putting this together myself, and I could have done it cheaper, but I'd rather get the professionals in that are going to do a professional job and make it also safe. So over the 30 years, if I'm saving 60,000 baht per year, this adds up to around 1.8 million baht in total savings. From that, you have to subtract the 420,000 system cost from today, and if you then factor in the cost of replacing the inverter once and the batteries once, all three of them, after everything, I would have saved 1.17 million baht for the whole 30-year period on electricity. But not only that, it's not just about the savings over the next 30 years. It really is about independence and the fun of being able to do something like this. And so that's the fag packet maths, and what we'll do on this vlog is we'll revisit this in a few months and see exactly what the savings are, and I'll do a new calculation to where the break-even point is. I should also mention that all of this equipment is covered on warranty, the panels 25 to 30 years, and you've got a 10-year warranty on the inverter and the batteries too, so I can call out knock anytime if there's ever any problem. He doesn't live too far from me too, which also makes it quite convenient to have that, and also Damo's brother being an electrician, it really helps because he only had to take one look at the system and he understood how it all worked. He actually thinks he could install it, so maybe that's something for his future career down the line.
Trouble, stay away from my door. Trouble, stay away from my door. Trouble, come back, don't come around no more. Trouble, stay away from my door. Never stay away from my home. Never stay away from my home. Never go on back and leave my soul alone. Never stay away from my home. Never come around me no more. Never come around me no more. Never go on back and walk on out the door. Never come around me no more. Set and keep me free from your spell. Set and keep me free from your spell. Set and go on back unto the gates of hell. Set and keep me free from your spell.
So as the sun is setting here, the panels are actually in. The system is working now. The engineers have gone drinking some beer that I got them, some Chang. Damo is being a bit of an intermediate now between these guys and some other customers. One of them is based in the village. So if you are interested in doing the solar, you can contact her on the email below. It's going to be expatinterviews@gmail.com. For now, the system is in and he's just cleaning it all up. The batteries are here. He's just putting the last of the paneling on here, and we're installing the app that allows you to monitor everything that is happening here. So here you can see at the moment you've only got 57 watts of solar coming in. The battery is now running to the inverter and charging the house. So the light that we have on in this room is from the battery. So thanks for joining us on today's vlog. We hope it's been interesting and insightful for you, and take care, guys.
Trouble, stay away from my door. Trouble, stay away from my door. Trouble,